So my name's Jessica. A quick story as I introduce our next speaker. When I graduated from college, it was really important for me to find a place that valued everyone, that made me feel and know how I was part of the bigger picture. And I found that at IT Freedom. And so I'm very excited to introduce our next speaker, Carey Jung, our founder, sorry.
Thanks, Jessica. Thank you all. I'll try my best to keep this microphone by my mouth. So I want to tell you the story of IT Freedom. And I'll have to warn you that some of this is actually true. It's hard to believe that it's been 18 years since I started IT Freedom. Back in 1999. I'll be 60 in October, which is even harder to believe. Unless you're standing out there looking at this old face. As I was working on this speech, I remembered this old headshot that I had taken of myself back when I started the company, just to see how much different I looked. And I could not believe how young I looked. Check this out. That is me at 42. Can you believe that? I look like a third grader. Like I just, in that smile, it's like I just booby-trapped Mrs. Dazowitz's chair with a whoopee cushion. So any of you out there who are thinking of starting your own business, take a look at that photo of me at 42 and this old face now. If that doesn't give you pause, then, by God, you were born to be an entrepreneur. Ever since, oops, dang, I jumped ahead. Ever since I started IT Freedom, I wanted everyone who worked there to think and act like I did. And I know that can mean all kinds of batshit crazy things, but what I mean is as an owner. I wanted everybody to work hard, to put the greater good of the company ahead of themselves, their own personal ambitions, do whatever it takes to get the job done. I have never been above fixing clogged toilets in the bathroom or getting rid of rats out of the break room. And those are the kind of people that I want to work with. Toilet divers and rat murderers. But how do you ask someone to behave like an owner without actually being an owner? So what I really wanted was for everyone who worked there to have a stake in the company. And I don't mean a few token stock options, I mean a meaningful stake, something that with time and hard work you could use to build long-term financial security for you and your family, along with the rest of us. At the time, though, I had no idea how to set something up like that, and no money. After all, I had robbed my retirement account to start the company, and every cent and every minute I had was focused on just getting through the next month's payroll. So I put that whole idea of shared ownership aside, and but it didn't stop me from expecting that kind of behavior from everyone still. And when my wife Carla joined the company a few years later, after years of begging, she was the same way. She insisted on that kind of behavior from everyone as well as us. And over the years, we've developed a few principles that are key to this, what I call ownership culture. And if I can stay on track, I'll tell you about them. First off, you can't expect anyone to behave like an owner if you're not willing to share the rewards of ownership with them. Now, we haven't always made money. We've lost money at times. But whatever we've had, we've tried to share generously with our employees in the form of profit sharing. As we've matured over the years, learned how to manage our expenses, preserve cash, and consistently make money, we've continued that practice. The end of the year for us, the holiday times, are a festive time because that's when we do all of our profit sharing. We watch our profits grow over the year, and at Friday lunch, that first week in December, is a special treat. It's when I get to hand out all the bonus checks. I feel like Santa Claus, if not quite as jolly. That so-called generosity extends to our benefits package, which our benefits administrator last year during open enrollment told us that nobody she knows provides the level of benefits that we provide. We still pay for fully paid health insurance. We cover spousal coverage, holidays. We do up to 6 weeks of paid vacation that we insist that everyone uses. And another perk that we provide, which is really one of our oldest traditions, is catered lunch every Friday. It's where we get together, share stories, play our quiz show game, do status updates, and so on. All of that has really paid off in practical terms for us. You can go to our homepage on our website right now, and we maintain a live ticker of our customer feedback ratings. Every time we close a ticket, a customer can rate it thumbs up, thumbs down, or so-so. If that's below 100% or 99% or 98%, that's a rare occurrence because our happy employees make happy customers. We have 98% retention rate on our customers. So that pays off. But as an owner, sometimes things don't always go well, and I think it's important to also share the sacrifices. Back in 2008, we were sailing along. Business was great. We had outgrown our office space. We had acquired our own small data center. We were in our third office, not counting the girls' bedroom, which was our first one. And we didn't want to move again, or we wanted to move someplace we could stay a while. So we leased the entire building across the parking lot from us. It was a huge expense hit for us. It was 3 times the size of our current office, and we got a $350,000 construction loan to build it out because it was all warehouse space. But we knew we could do it because business was doing really well. We moved in May of 2009, which was our 10th year anniversary. We celebrated with an open house. And basically, just as we were cutting the ribbon, our largest customer got bought out, and they took their IT in-house. We lost 40% of our revenue. I'm starting to do that Tammy the Evangelist thing. I'm so blessed. We didn't know how we were going to make it. We had this huge rent and these huge expenses and this major loss of revenue. Carl and I, we restructured every loan, every contract, every note that we could. We cut our salaries 50%. We sold our house, moved into an apartment with our youngest daughter for a couple years. We'd already sold off the older kids. and the golden retriever. No, I'm kidding about that last part. We would never have sold Maxine. She was the company mascot for years. None of that was enough. And then on top of that, the recession hit, and all of our other customers started treading water. So we thought we were sunk, but what could we do? I thought we were going to have to lay off half our staff, and there was no way we were going to survive. Here comes Tammy again. And but Carla came up with a plan to share the sacrifice amongst everyone, spread that pain around. So at our next Friday lunch, we broke the bad news and told everyone we had laid off two very good people, and everyone else was getting a 10% salary cut effective immediately and indefinitely. And we just battled it out. We paddled. I can't move that hand. We paddled, and we bailed, and we paddled some more, and we bailed for 2 years. It took us 2 years to restore everyone's salary, and another couple years after that before Carla and I got ours back. But we made it. And we couldn't have done it without everyone pitching in. After that announcement, everyone was, because we hadn't told staff how bad the situation was until we announced the cuts, everyone was shocked, of course, but also disappointed and angry, and realized then that we hadn't treated them like the owners we told them we were treating them as, and shared that with them. So from then on, we decided to open the books to the entire company. Carla started doing a monthly financial report at Friday lunch, and she does it to this day. She goes over the previous month's finances, revenue, cost of sales, expenses, gross and net margin, net cash, the balance sheet, the whole 9 yards. Of course, first of all, at first, none of us really understood what all those numbers meant. And I have to say, including me. But, so it took Carla a lot of teaching to explain the basic business financial concepts and terminology to everyone. But eventually, we all got it. And I dare say that now, everyone in the company knows how we make money, knows what the bottom line is, knows what their place in it is, whether it's generating top-line revenue or providing back-office services. It helps us make better business decisions. It helps them think about what's important. It gives them confidence in the state of the company and in our management of it. As we've gone through all these troubles, and as we worked through all this stuff, and we slowly dug our way out of the hole that we were in, we just continued to improve things. And when I look back, I'm amazed at the difference in the company, what a different company we are compared to back then. And I have to ask myself, how do you reach that level of excellence? And I don't know how we compare to any other IT services companies, and I don't really care that much. But compared to our former selves, the relative difference is amazing. And how do you do that? You don't just get up in the morning, look in the mirror, and say, I'm going to go be excellent today. And I don't think we work any harder or we're any smarter than anyone else, but we never settle for the status quo. There's always something that can be a little bit better, some annoying thing that we can figure out some way to get rid of, or a repetitive task that we can automate, or some useless task that we can trash, and some small improvement to our operations that we can make. And I think that's what operational excellence is all about. It's that slow, uneven process of just getting a little bit better every day. And over time, that makes a huge difference in 2008, when things were going well, we had 18 employees. At the end of last year, we were back up to 18 employees. But those 18 employees were generating nearly twice the revenue and 4 times the earnings that we were back then. The same number of employees. And it's all because we focus on getting better. We involve everyone in that process. We have a simple email-based suggestion box, and anyone can suggest an improvement or gripe or some way of doing something a little bit better. We look at them, we review them, we implement them as appropriate. Once a quarter, Jeff goes over all the suggestions at Friday lunch, and we do a $250 cash drawing for all the contributors. The more ideas you contribute, the better your chances of winning. We're not looking for brilliant ideas, just lots of them. We want you thinking about them all the time. So by 2013, we were back in the black, started to put some money back in the bank, and I began thinking about the idea of shared ownership again. Coincidentally, one of our customers, I discovered, had just become employee-owned. And I was fascinated by how they'd done it. They had created an employee stock ownership plan, or ESOP for short, which is an IRS-qualified retirement plan. And the owners had begun selling the company to the plan. All the employees participate in the plan or have a membership interest in the plan based on their relative compensation. I didn't know anything about it. I went to a couple seminars, read some books on it, joined the National Center for Employee Ownership, learned about lots of other amazing companies that you wouldn't know it, but they're employee owned. One of my favorites, by the way, is New Belgium Brewery in Colorado. If you ever go there, it's just, take the tour. It's an amazing company. Anyhow, so by 2014, we'd figured it out enough to move forward with our own plan and held a all-hands meeting in a conference room. And everyone got in there and sat down. I broke the news to them. I said, after long consideration, I've decided to sell the company. I'm selling it to you all. Dead silence. They couldn't speak. I couldn't talk. I had to click through my slides so they could read what it all meant. We had created our own employee stock ownership plan. We set up an IT Freedom Employee Trust, which is the nonprofit entity at the heart of our plan. And to seed our ownership plan, we gifted 5% of the company to the trust. And it was distributed amongst our eligible employees according to relative to their compensation. So we were 5% employee owned at that point. In 2015, we used company profits to purchase another 5% of the company from me and distribute it to the trust. For the 2016 tax year, we plan to do the same thing. So we're not done yet this year. So by the end of this year, we should be 15% employee owned. And we plan to continue this process until by 2024, we will be majority employee owned. And eventually, 100% employee owned. All done through the profits that our employee owners have generated. This ownership structure has tremendous benefits for I think everyone concerned. For me, it's a way to gradually divest myself of my stake in the company without bringing in an outside buyer that would potentially disrupt everyone's lives and lay people off and whatever. For the company, our trust is a nonprofit entity, and its percentage of our earnings is tax-free. So when we become 100% employee-owned, the company will be tax-free. And for the employees, of course, they get this stake in the company, this meaningful stake that I talked about, and that sense of belonging that's so important to everyone. So here we are today, 2017. With our most recent hire, we're at about 22 employees. They're the best employees we've ever had, but I could say that at any point in our history because they just keep getting better. And our entire leadership team has come from that pool of employees. Carla, who joined the company in 2005, helping me with the books and has occupied virtually every position in the company as needed. She is now our CFO. In 2005, Brian Camp interviewed for an entry-level help desk position. He had just moved here from Illinois. We're fresh out of high school. He had single-handedly built a community wireless internet service in his hometown. As he was talking, I got up and walked around behind him and blocked the door so he couldn't escape, and hired him on the spot as an engineer. He has since built out our entire network, internet, and voice infrastructure, and is our chief financial officer. Matt Miller joined us in 2007, also entry-level on the help desk. While he was finishing his computer science degree at UT, he moved up to engineer, eventually became our engineering manager and my sales engineer, and he has now taken over all of our sales and marketing as our chief development officer. Lastly, Jeff Taff joined us in 2008, also that hotbed of entrepreneurship, the help desk. After a few months, we promoted him to help desk supervisor, where he discovered his zone of genius and eventually became our operations director with most of the company reporting to him. Last fall, I gave him his final promotion. He's now our chief executive officer. So those 4 people are now with the entire crew that they hired, not I, our second generation of employee owners, essentially. They've stolen my company from me. They've taken it over. They're making it their own quickly and fearlessly, and it's freaky. But I'm so proud of them. We've come just a long way in 18 years, and it's all thanks to this employee ownership culture. Thank you.